Good morning. How's everybody doing? My fan's messing with me. I have not got in our Discord yet.
Daddy made you your favorite open wide.
Good morning, salutations, great rising. Hope everybody's doing all right today. Like the title says, this is my last day live until the evening of Christmas. We're not doing well. Me and the kids are going to families tomorrow on Christmas Eve. We won't be back home until like midnight Christmas morning. So, but I got a little bit to do on this Chrysler that I need to wrap up today. I got to do an oil change on my Kia because we're taking it. And I'm going to probably try to get this battery, if it'll take a charge, in this Power Stroke. Because I got rid of my shop truck yesterday. I traded my 03 Chevy 1500 for another Power Stroke. I got an 02 7.3 four-wheel drive extended cab Power Stroke. Yay! Then get welcome in Stream Hub World. Hope you're doing all right today. In 4. But yeah, we're not getting too crazy today. Like I said, I got an oil change to do in the car. I'm gonna vacuum it out and get it all cleaned up. Me and the kids got to pack in it for 5 hours. So I'm all ceiling and flips down, and I'm gonna try to see about mounting that. So the kids have something. Maybe we can hook the Xbox up or something in the car. It might be cool. We'll get real crazy with the Kia. I've got headrest monitors laying up there too. I've got an Android tablet radio that has video outputs that I can split. Hell, that plays Netflix. I'll put on a screen up in the top and one on each headset. Okay, we'll pimp out a Kia. I did get the wood stove going earlier this morning a little bit. But to be honest, it's supposed to be 59 and it's already 50. I don't really have much need for it. I've just had her dampered down and just burning a couple small pieces just to knock the cold off in the garage for the morning. I do have my shop camera, so we can extend. X16, welcome in, welcome in. I do have the shop camera that I can take out. It's got 18 foot of cord, so I can get pretty close if I open the front doors and show you guys, changing oil on the Kia and all that. Obviously, you guys can see behind me here. I got the Chrysler's back in here. Customer had paused work on it for a little while there, and then good afternoon, cousin. Howdy over there on Facebook. I see you this time. I still haven't figured out sound alerts for when somebody says something over on Facebook. But I'm working on it still. Hope everybody's having a good day. Merry Christmas to everybody. like I said, I don't really have any like work today. I'm waiting on parts for that F-150 to get the door cables for the extended cab doors to come in. There's going to be after Christmas. Waiting on an intake and some stuff for this one. I've got a fuel pump that I need to finish up wiring and plumbing underneath, and a condenser I got to make mounts for. But no, I'm just kind of hanging out. Like I said, this is my last day before Christmas that I'm going to be on, because we're going to be gone tomorrow and Christmas Eve. Going to do Christmas morning with the kids, probably down at my ex-wife's, just because she's like 3 houses down. And then she's going to take the baby to her family's for the day, and my oldest is going to go to her mom's, and we're going to try to get a hold of my sister to let Riley see his mom on Christmas. And then that evening, I'll probably just have Riley if he doesn't go to his buddies. So I'll jump on Christmas evening and at least do a Christmas stream with everybody and check how everybody's Christmas went, and like we normally do. Oh, wow, that's disturbing. Oh, wow. 15 million Japanese yen. Someone has for sale a brand new R34 Skyline chassis that's never been built. Like, brand new bare rolling chassis. 15 million Japanese yen. That's $95,612 for a rolling shell with nothing on it. That's insane. 6 figures for a fucking shell of a car. I know I didn't stream this weekend. I had buddies over Saturday night and Sunday. We got that Jeep Wrangler done the other night. I think that was Thursday or Friday. Saturday, let's see. We did a little bit of everything then. But Sunday was our really productive day. I cleaned the garage, got my tools back organized. I cleaned the barn. My brother Brad came over, and we did all of it. We moved his bike, his parts bike, and my motorcycle in the barn, so they're all in there nice and pretty. Got this car back rolled into here for me to be able to do work on it after Christmas, and just cleaned everything up and got everything back in order. I worked on that Jeep, and we made a mess with tools. We kind of left it because, hell, we were down here 8 or 9 hours, and then we were ready to go to bed. But we are in good shape. Hopefully we can get past Christmas here and New Year's, and got tax time rolling around and all that. Everybody can get back to normal working, and hopefully business picks up a little bit, because it's been slow the last 2 weeks. I'm not going to lie, but it is what it is. It's a hard time of year to work for yourself. But it is what it is, you know. I guess I'm going to roll my tarp up here and move the shop camera from where it's sitting at. And I'll go ahead and get the doors open. The Kia's right outside of it. I can at least throw my camera up so you guys can see me, and with the doors open, I should be able to get signal from my mic and my headset so you guys can hear me still. Honestly, the only thing I really need to do today with this thing is finish that mount for the fuse box over there on the ECU mount, and mount the actual ECU and plug it in. That's pretty much it. Because I did find him a drive-by-wire ECU, so considerably cheaper than what they go online too. So saved him quite a bit of money, more than half. And I guess while I'm out here, I'm sure I can get that camera in position to where I can show you guys my new truck too. So give me just a minute here. I'll get my tarp rolled up, get my doors open, and then we'll move the camera over there. For now, at least so you guys can kind of see. That's where we're going. We're going right over here. I'll show you guys how I open this. So I hung the tarp to knock out the breeze because obviously my doors aren't insulated or sealed. That just knocks out all the cool weather. Take this one here, put it on the coat rack screw. Usually, if I take a board, shove it in there, it holds that down and we're good. The key is way too close. I'm going to have to back it up. All right. Yeah. I'm sure it got super bright. My camera was not ready for that. My chair about fell off my stand. Give me 1 second here, guys. I'll bring my gain down on this camera so you can see. Huh. I guess just where it's so much brighter outside, that camera is not going to do that well. Hopefully we can get the shop camera over there and not have any issues with it. Let's see just how far we can get. Looks like right here. Okay. Well, the shop cam doesn't look as bad. So we'll work with it. Whether we're here at the bench getting tools or... And I am going to pull the Kia up a little bit too, so... I guess it works. Sorry if I missed any Facebook comments while we're doing this, guys. It's, like I said, difficult because I don't have any sound alerts for Facebook. How did that do? Okay, it's working just fine. 10-4. Little tip I learned years ago working for Jiffy Lube and Valvoline is you put your oil cap on your hood latch, right? Then there's no way you forget the fucking hood or the oil cap on the engine because you can't close the hood. But yeah. Now I can't remember if these are like a 17 or if they're like a tiny 13. They're like one or the other. Trying to charge this Group 65. We're going to go pick up another one for the Power Stroke. It didn't have any batteries. Apparently they were no count, is what I was told. But I'm going to pick up a second one after stream for the Power Stroke. I was hoping this one would take a charge so we didn't have to go buy two, because God, the cheap ones are like 140, the decent ones are like 200, and the really good ones are like 250 a piece. Batteries are not cheap anymore, guys. They're up there. This thing only holds 3.5 quarts, if you can believe it. It's a 1.6 liter. So most vehicles are between like 4.5 to 6. Your newer Chevrolet V8s are like 8 quarts. This thing holds 3.5. It's a baby motor. It makes like 110 horsepower. It is not a race car by any means. Look at that. It was a 17. I shouldn't have ever doubted myself. Also, I'm not going to use a wrench because the way this pan's made, you can't get on it straight. So we're going to use a socket, which I should have used anyway. I knew better. But we found the right size, so it's all good either way. Grab us a deep well. Also going to go ahead and grab these pliers. And I might as well grab my oil filter out of the car, because we're going to have to put that in there. Okay. Still kind of struggling to get around with this this finger. So bear with me, guys. It makes things difficult. Wow. Okay. Okay. I don't ever recommend this. This is my junk. I wouldn't do this to customers. This finger is not allowing me to get the torque on this thing, and someone has way over tightened this thing. And I think some of you probably know what I'm about to do. Don't do this. This is stupid. This is a good way to rip threads, strip roll plugs, whatever. I'm using an impact on it. I'm not dealing with it today. And that worked perfect. Put it back in a thread or so. To be fair, I've owned this car for most of the year. I traded for it earlier this year. I probably put about 5,000 miles on it, and I didn't change the oil when I got it. This looks like the oil in my Power Stroke in the driveway back here. It's black. It's dark, dirty oil. Definitely should have been changed before now. It is what it is. Good news is it wasn't reading low, and these Kias are kind of known for oil consumption, so I was pretty proud of that. And it looks like I'm sitting right about the 3.5 quart mark when the stream kind of quit. So good. Guten Tag, if you will. I think that's good morning, but you know what I mean. And we'll let all that drain as we can. Cool news is I can throw this in my used oil tank. We're empty on it anyway right now, so pretty much as I've been doing oil changes, I just throw it in the tank, and I'll use it for 2 or 3 days. 5 quarts, I'd say, probably last me 2 or 3 days because I just put a drip. I don't let it like pour. So it's just dripping a little bit, here and there. And if once the stove gets warmed up good, I usually crank it down and turn it off even. I'm gonna check tire pressures on this thing, and I'll hold, shake her down. And I've got one rear tire that's like right above the wear bar marks. Realistically, it probably needs replaced. That being said, this thing has 15s on it. They are tiny. 15s are a tire of the past. Nobody carries them anymore. So they're like $120 at the local tire shop. I believe Walmart can get them in for about $60 a tire, and their Mountain and Balance is probably 80 or 90 out the door. But I've got a set of wheels that they were my 3-piece wheels that were on my BMW. If any of you guys ever saw that, it's they were 17s. I had a wheel bearing fail on a BMW, and it killed one of the inner barrels. I ordered a new set of barrels out of California about 2 years ago when I was working for my previous employer, and I got to take them to a buddy that's got a machine shop to machine them to match the pattern on the wheels because they're just blanks. But this car here has a quarter panel that's already destroyed. It's a rebuilt title because of it. Right above the driver rear wheel. So my plan was I got to do something with it anyway with metal. I've got these stupid wide 3-piece wheels that are worth 10 of these cars. Why not build a wide body Kia Soul? So that's exactly what I'm going to do eventually. It is obviously not priority, but rather than put tires on these 15s, I'd rather just put them up in the lower barn, and store them as a spare set in case I ever need some, and put the 17s on it. 3 of them have had decent tires. At least 2 of them are still good. I'm going to have to redo the rears anyway because the new barrels are wider, so they'll be even wider wheels. So I can reuse my fronts. I'm going to reverse mount the faces on those wheels, the centers. So they're going to be like, the fronts will be like probably a lip like 4 inches, and the rears are a 6-inch polished lip. I'd really like to find a set of air ride shocks to put on this thing and put it on air ride with stupid wide wheels and wide body. Apparently my headset is trying to die. I might have to switch to my SteelSeries headset. We'll pull the mic out of it though. I took my other headset, my other earbud, up to the house last night. I completely forgot it in my pocket or in my ear, and I threw it in my pocket. I don't care to wear my headset though. You guys know that. Oh, that's what I was doing. I was grabbing a rag to wipe all this down underneath and tighten my filter up. It had a little oil on it, and I had oil on my hands, so. When I'm not around, I get special. And I wish I was special. But I'm a creep. Oh, there we go. And that is, other than filling her back up, all the hard work for a Kia Soul oil change. They're super easy. The oil filter's easy to get to. The plug is easy. You don't have to jack it up. I mean, you guys just watched that. What did it take? Fucking 6 minutes with me, jabber jawing. It ain't too bad. Now we're going to get our little funnel here. I've got to put 3.5 cords. It takes 3.4 to 3.6 is what they say with the filter. I don't know what that is that catches every time I open this door. Oh. Oh, there's a plastic clip missing on that fucking... There's a plastic wind guard inside the fender, I'm guessing, to keep from water slinging back or wind getting into the fender. Know where I'll be found when I come around. I also just remember that you guys can't hear the music I'm listening to. Good old Meta and YouTube. They muted videos and basically told me if I kept doing it, they were going to ban my account. So no music on stream anymore except for me and my headset. So I am sorry because I know there's probably a lot of dead silence and pauses as I'm working on things. It just kind of comes with the territory on what kind of stuff I'm streaming. It's a lot different than when I was, at the desk, sitting in front of the monitor. That's right at 1.5 left out of 5. So, by the way, just a rant, right? Everybody goes on about how Walmart has the cheapest oil, This I got from AutoZone, right? Any of your parts stores, O'Reilly's, AutoZone, Napa, Advance, any of those guys are going to sell these jugs. 5-quart jugs, 1.25 gallons. The reason Walmart's is cheaper, their oil is cheaper because they're the only ones licensed to sell 1-gallon jugs, 4-quart jugs. So most of your vehicles out there are 5-6 quarts in these days at least. So you got to buy the jug and 2 more quarts. And I'm telling you, they're not the cheapest. A lot of these companies like AutoZone, I got this, it was cheaper over the counter than it was through my commercial account because they have deals. If you buy the filter, It's like $27 for 5 quarts and an oil filter. Definitely the way to go. Go to your parts store. Go to a local mom and pop is what you really should do. I should have went to Canada Brothers. I'm going to start this thing real quick and see. Make sure it comes on and goes off like it's supposed to. All right. Oil light went off. Yeah. It actually quieted that motor down quite a bit. It was getting a little chattery, man. It was getting a little noisy. You could definitely tell that I hadn't changed the oil. They said it was probably due when I got the damn thing, and I put at least 5,000 on it, so. Now we'll just check our oil level and. Oh yeah, we're a touch over, and so it did take about 3.4 technically. Our poor little Duralast here is just not wanting to crank a lot, and it's cold lately. I might have to go turn it in on warranty. Looks like our power steering's good. Our coolant is good. Wash fluid's getting low for sure because it's on the end of its little dipstick built into it here. It's got a little convenient hook to hang it. And conveniently enough, I've got 2 gallons of all-season Rain-X. And since we're going to Indiana and it'll probably be rainy and nasty and potentially snowing up that way, I want to make sure that you got plenty of washer fluid that doesn't freeze to get all the salt and nastiness off my windshield as we're driving 5 hours. I guess I didn't really intend on this being a video or a stream about this, but if anybody was wondering, like, maybe some of the things you should do before you go on a road trip of any kind, here it is, you know. I check all your fluids. I just did an oil change, so obviously we just did all that. We know it's good. I just filled up the washer fluid. Our power steering and coolant are good. The battery looks good. No dirty terminals. They're not corroded or anything. If you're worried about it, now wouldn't be a terrible time to pop your air filter box open and at least take a look at it. Oh, I overfilled the washer fluid. It's running out where the neck connects to the reservoir. I was like, uh-oh, I got something leaking. She's a little dirty, but yeah, she's fine. Okay. The only other thing that I'm really going to check, like I said, I looked at my tread earlier when I was filling the tank up just to see the tire tread. I would recommend checking your tire pressures. Tire pressure is a leading factor in mile per gallon loss. It's also a big reason why people have blowouts. Nobody checks their fucking tires. As long as that light doesn't come on the dash, you know they don't fool with it. Well, it's still a good idea to check. Especially in something like this that doesn't have a tire light or a pressure light. You want to make sure you're going to have the best handling and you're going to have the best gas mileage you can get on a long trip, right? So I've got a little convenient slimed tire pressure gauge that has a magnet on it, so I just keep it stuck to my air compressor because I figure if I'm using the air compressor, I'll need a gauge probably. We're at 32, right where this one should be. If you need to know what pressure your tires are supposed to be at, if you open your driver's door, somewhere around the door sill the faceplate or on the door out on the outside, you'll have a chart. It's generally black and gray or black and silver with like yellow lettering. And this car actually calls for 32 or 33. So 32 on this gauge, we're doing just fine. We're sitting about 33 on that one, right where it should be. I've got a sneaking suspicion that this one might be a little low. I've been getting a little pull to the right, and it looks like it might be. I could be wrong, though. It could be just the way it's sitting on the gravel. But that's why you check. This one's sitting about 31. A pound is not going to make a pull like that. I probably got a tie rod or got knocked out of alignment hitting a pothole or something. It's not bad, but it'll probably be annoying on this trip, I'm sure. Yep. 34 on this one, so. But yeah, that's pretty much your basics. Another thing I'd recommend checking, obviously lights. Easiest way to do that is just turn your lights on, turn your four ways on, your emergency flashers, and that'll allow you to check your turn signal bulbs as well as, you know, all that. Brakes are about the only thing you can't check, but if you got a stick, you can put a stick on your brake pedal and scoot your seat back and put the stick into the front of the seat and push it forward to keep the brake pedal held down. Just a good little trick. So we're going to turn our ignition on, we'll turn our headlights on, and hit our four ways. And we've got a tail light, both turn signals. Both our tag lights are working. Headlight and turn signal. Headlight and turn signal. All right. Last thing you want going out of town, especially out of state, you know, go to another state and go get a fucking ticket. That'd be great, right? Shoo, lordy. Well, that was pretty easy. I'm also going to clean this thing out, get all the trash and tools and kids stuff, whatever's in there. I'm going to get it all out and get it cleaned up. I've got a screen up in my barn. It's a fold down 14-inch, I think, screen. And I'm seriously thinking about dropping the dome light out of the Kia, mounting that screen to the dome light and pulling power from it because it's got dome lights built into it. And then the Android radio that is up there in the front in the dash, it's just a big Android tablet, but it's got video outs, so I could duplicate the screen back there to them, turn on a hotspot on the trip, you know, and I can turn Netflix on. Like, I can turn on something for the kids, and they can watch a movie or two, and we'll be there. So, luckily, I got my brother Smokey staying right next door, so he gonna keep an eye on the place and come over and feed the dog and the chickens. One night we're gone. And luckily, I've got some cameras that, you know, send notifications to my phones if we've got any kind of movement or anything, so I can see what's going on at least. But yeah, I'm glad everything's all right with that Kia. Knock on wood, it's got no check engine lights or nothing stupid. It's been a good little car. Funny thing is, I traded my Power Stroke off earlier this year. I had a King Ranch four-door, four-wheel drive 6.0 truck. I traded it for that Kia. That's an 11 model 1.6 speed. I also got a 12 model 2.0 automatic and an 03 Yukon. I traded the truck for all three of them. That one had a rebuilt red title. It was bought from like a Copart with the quarter wrecked. And I think it had a front bumper they changed on it. And then the 12 model was perfect. They had put a new bumper and fender on it. They'd hit a deer in it. But it just had a regular like blue or green rebuilt in Kentucky. This one is red titled though because of the Copart deal. It was totaled. But and the Yukon was like an 03 5.3 4-wheel drive Yukon. Actually, the trans went out in it. The automatic went out in it, and I traded it for a Cat Eye extended cab 5-speed truck, 2-wheel drive that had long tube headers and was cammed and tuned, and that was a mean son of a bitch. But my nephew Riley that I've got, he missed every day. He gives me hell about giving. I mean, even today, even now, gives me hell about getting rid of that Power Stroke. He loved that truck. Like he wants one when he gets old enough to drive. Like he's about it. So late last night, I traded my Cat Eye off for it. It needs some work. A buddy needed something to drive, and it died on him, and he doesn't know what's going on. I've worked on way too many of these 7.3s, but at least I know him well enough to know what's going on. Worst case, even if I have to put a couple $100 into it, I'll have a 4-wheel drive extended cab, which beats the 4-wheel drive single cab that I had. And, just a cooler truck. I can do more with it too. It's a shop truck. It's just my work truck, but I can go pull vehicles on trailer. I can pick up local work where, just power's needed, where they need just a truck. Somebody got like a trailer and some equipment or something like that. That opens up a lot of doors. It's an 02 7.3. It's not a bad little truck. Oh, that was what little ice is left. I thought that was something floating in my coffee. But yeah, guys, I mean, if you're a vehicle owner, hello, Bella. Hello, baby girl. Hello, puppy dog. Oh, you fell. I'm getting too relaxed. That's what you need to do right there if you guys are going on a trip. And honestly, if you've never done it before, do that. Well, we just did right there. Maybe not an oil change if you're not confident enough or don't have the tools, or say you live in an apartment and you can't work on stuff where you live. It happens. But there ain't no shame in popping your hood and checking your fluids, checking your oil, checking your coolant, power steering, washer fluid, looking at your battery, make sure it's not corroded. There are some air filter boxes that you got to have tools to like take apart and open up to get the filter out. But most of them these days are just the little flip tabs. You just flip them down and they snap off and it opens up and you can pull the filter out. You guys can save yourself hundreds of dollars at shops. I mean, literally. But, to each their own. I get that everybody's not worried about that kind of stuff, but I got to say that's one of the positive things about what I do. It's why I enjoy it, because what I'm doing is providing a service. I'm making things better for people. They come to me with stuff that's broken or wrong or that they don't like, and I am fixing those problems for them, and that fulfills me because I'm a people pleaser, so I like doing it. But I forget sometimes that some of the easy, simple stuff that I'm like, how does everybody not know that I know? It's not everybody does it, not everybody knows it, not everybody cares about it. They're like, fuck it, I'll just pay somebody to do that. Like, okay, cool. I appreciate the business, but I also want to be able to help people. With like I might take this first segment of this video or this stream today and make a little video out of it. It's just a checklist of things to do when you're, going on a road trip. Because there's a lot of people out there that didn't have anybody to teach them that kind of stuff. There's a lot of people that just fucking put gas in them and drive them, and they don't do nothing until it stops, until it stops running or pulling or starting or tires bust or go flat or whatever. Hello, Ladybird. What are you doing, Mama Dog? Hello, Bella, you jealous puppy. Come here, sweetheart. Come here. Oh, yes. Hello. Hello. She's just the sweetest girl. She closes her eyes and just loves being loved on. Hello, sweetheart. Her sister is like this too, Gertie May, but Gertie is more rambunctious. That dog will get into some stuff. You know what I mean? Bella likes tearing up trash, though, don't you? You like tearing up trash. You act like you never get fed. You dogs eat like horses every day. They run every single day. Anytime I leave here, they run down to my ex-wife's and wait down there till I come back, and they're running back. And they'll run 20 mile an hour, no problem. It's pretty crazy. They're very athletic dogs, so they stay thin. But you'd swear like they're wormed. They've got their shots. But she gets so docile. She just freezes. She about falling asleep. This is Bella. Yeah. Yep, this is Bella. And then her sister's the one with the white on her with the pointy ears. She's like she in the face, when you look at her like head on, she's a little pit bull. Just a little miniature pit bull. I couldn't get rid of them. The kids wanted them. Riley wanted Gertie May, and the baby wanted Bella here. And their sisters, their mama is Ladybird, and they've just been here the whole time. She's sweet. She is the sweetest little dog. Like, if you raise your voice around her, she just cowers down. Like, you'd swear she got beat or something, but she's been spoiled rotten her whole life. They sleep in here in the garage on the couch every night, right next to the fire. She'll damn near fall asleep just sitting here with you petting on her. She goes over to Smokey's and Jess's in the mornings when the kids go to school on the school bus, and she'll scratch at their door and they'll let her in. She'll come in and lay with them and get loved on and eat some food, and then they'll let her out. She'll go run back over with her sister and them. Smokey and them will send me Snapchats about every morning. They're little stinkers. Just a pretty little girl. Yeah. You swear she had no ears. She keeps them tucked back like that, just folded over. And then her sisters are straight up. Hey, baby. Hey, sweetheart. What are you doing? You smell my microphone? You just like being loved. Look at the big old smile on your face. Look at you. No, now she's grown and nah, she's a good dog. They're just puppies. They like tearing stuff up and chasing stuff and playing and eat like horses. They're about like my teenagers in the house. Hello, sweetheart. Hello. Yes. Hello. You go lay with your mom over there on the couch. There you go. Nah, I can't complain. They keep my three girls outside keep all the predators and stuff away from the chickens, and so I can't complain. They're good dogs. And by God, nothing moves down here without me knowing about it. They will, 4 o'clock in the morning, if something's running around, an animal or something, they're barking. And when it's not cold out, they sleep on the back deck right outside the back door, which is about 10 foot from my room. And oh my gosh, they've got like the highest pitched little barks. I guess I'm gonna run over here to the barn real quick, and I'm gonna grab this screen and see about it. Like I said, even if nothing else, I could just run an RCA cable down to the radio and tap into the video and just duplicate the video on it. Yeah. Yeah, I've had a lot of friends and cousins that had a lot of blue heelers. Good dogs. Great dogs. Honestly, the only dogs I've ever had problems with are like little ones, like Chihuahuas and shit like that. I don't. It's them little ankle biters that you get. They're like the mean ones and shit. Hmm. Well, like I said, I already talked to Robbie over at the parts house. Canada Brothers are in town, and he already told me to come get one. Which I've got an account with them, but that'll get me another battery for this power stroke. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at what I got to do. I'm running it all over my mind. Sorry, guys. I tend to get quiet when I'm sitting here thinking. That's why I usually have music playing on the streams, but I can't get my shit banned for that. So yeah, we had a Chihuahua growing up named Rita, and she was a sweet dog. But like, if you fucked with her and she didn't want to be fucked with, like she would absolutely bite you. Like drew blood more than once. Little shit, but it'd just be like she'd bite, and that'd be it. But she would snap at you, she'd just be kind of looking at you, and she didn't like what you were doing, like getting too close to her or something, or you scared her. Like, yeah, we had her and a rat terrier named Ruby. We had them for fucking over 10 years, and Ruby was my dad's dog, and she got to where she wasn't eating. She got really old and kind of got sick, and she didn't eat for about 2 weeks, and then she disappeared when we let her out one morning to go to the bathroom, and we found her a couple days later. She crawled up under one of our shed buildings we had, and we got her out and buried her. And about like a week or two later, my Uncle Russ was up at the house, and he went to back out the driveway and backed over the Chihuahua. Yeah, those little dogs fucking they live forever, dude. Which Smokey's the German Shepherd Mercedes, she was like 13. She was a rescue that he got when she was young for like she was like a year and a half, and he got her had her for like 12 years. She buried down here below the hog lot. And Ruby's over here buried under where the RV's sitting, but there's about 4 foot of dirt on top of her now that we had all this dozer work done. And then Zena's behind the barn. Tank, Dude, and Chuck are all behind the barn. We've lost a lot of fucking dogs over the last 8 years, honestly. I had one named Finley, a mama. Yeah. No, she never gave me. Yeah, no, she did. She did give me some pups. Um, because Tank and Dude were hers. But she got in. There were some dope heads living across the street, and they had a bunch of trash stacked up on their back deck. And the neighborhood dogs, there were strays running around. They had got into their trash and drug it over to my yard. And I guess those people would put out like some hamburger meat and put glass in it. And when they drug it in my yard, I would let her out during the day while I was at work, and she would run around, behind the barn and stuff, and lay around the house and keep an eye on things. I guess she had got into it, and she died later that night in my lap. That sucked, man. I had that dog for like 8 years. That was my best friend. And I would go to work, and that dog would come with me. I mean, she was in my vehicle. If there was a window open, she'd jump through lifted truck windows. You'd walk out and just find her in the truck. But a lady I went to church with actually ended up painting them. My sister got up with her and gave her a picture of her, and she made a painting of Finley, and I've got her hanging up in the living room. That was a good dog. Damn good dog. Well, I guess let me run over here to the barn, and I'm gonna grab that screen. and see what I got to do to get it mounted up here. Oh, well, that's why I save everything, you guys. Like 10-foot RCA cords. And this. It's a screen that turns, mounts up to the ceiling on a universal plate. Make anything work. It just folds up, but it's got dome lights in it. So, pretty neat. I think it'll work pretty cool. I got it off a buddy a long time ago. But yeah. We'll check it out and see what's what. Looks pretty simple. Looks like we just got video, audio, and power and ground. So the overhead lights get constant power and tap into that. Obviously, the overhead lights will come out because that'll mount where it's at, but works for me, dudes. It's pretty cool. Looks like it's got a switch here for the lights. Life is too short, so love the one you got, because you might get an old or you might get shot. So I guess right now all I really need is to take out these 5 screws to get the mounting plate off And then I need to figure out where I can mount the mounting plate, what options there are there above where the light is, because I think the light's screwed in. I really hope it is. I hope it has a bracket I can screw this bracket to or bolt it to. There should be something. I'm knocking on wood here, and hopefully we got something there we can put it on. And then I'll use my test light and figure out what is constant powered. And then I'll have to get over to the A pillar and run the RCA cables down under the dash and then up through the dash. Like I'll have to go through the headliner, down the A pillar, and under the dash, and go to the back of the radio and wherever the video out is on it, plug this video into it, so then it duplicates that screen. So then, like I said, it's an Android tablet with Google Play Store, so all I got to do is literally turn on Netflix with my hotspot on my phone, and bam, the kid's got something to watch. Plays over the stereo. They can watch in the back and the front. We're good. And who else has got a Kia Soul with a flip down, like 10-inch monitor, right? Works for me. But this is what we're after right now. Okay. It's unbolted. Why is this not wanting to come off? Is this like stuck to this, like glued to it? Oh, okay. I see what happened there now. All right, cool. We'll close that so nothing happens to it. We need to mount this. Bring a Phillips with me. You might lose me a little bit or be in and out of the car, but we're going to try our best. We don't want that dinging for sure. All right, we got two big Phillips screws. That's awesome. That's going to make this really solid mounted. Okay, that's got it dropped down. Uh-oh. Yeah, two massive Phillips screws right there holding that in. That's actually great news because, like I said, that gives me... Okay, what's holding this in now that the screws are out? Because it's still not wanting to come out. Yeah. Looks like we've got a power, a ground, and a door switch signal. That works for me. You can definitely catch those two screws right there through those two holes. Heck yeah, dude. That'll put it right there, back of the head, like the headrest between them. That's going to work great. All right. Cool thing is a lot of my headliner drops down right there. I think if I pull this one side, the visor out, and this one grab handle, I'll be able to get to this driver's side A-pillar pretty easy and put those RCAs down. And then I just have to pop the trim off the top and pop the radio out, come up through the dash with the RCAs, hook up the power, the video there, and it's good. And then bam, we got a flip down screen and a base model Kia Soul. So that's pretty neat. I remember pulling this all apart on the dash. This was difficult, to say the least. Well, that was easy. Never mind. It fucking came right out. Okay, we're looking for video out on the back of this thing. Video out right here. Yeah, pretty easy. Pretty simple. Hell yeah. Still just a rat in a cage. Are you telling me this thing already had a fucking adapter for the... For the GPS, I think it did. Yeah, we'll leave it alone. Okay. So, I need to pop off this little piece of trim right here. This is going to be a pretty straightforward install on this. Not that they're always that, they're not even difficult to do. I wouldn't call them difficult by any means. You know, I'm going to go ahead and probably look up a video on pulling this sun visor. Looks like 10 mils up here to pull the grab handle. And then we should be able to get the headliner down enough there to pull our RCAs through. This is actually kind of cool. We'll need this. We'll need... Great, we'll do this. The big boy with the 10 on it. And let me grab a pick. And here we go. And a good flat tip. Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage. Nope, nope. That big old socket's not in. Why does that almost look like a 9mm? I swear to God. I was just talking to a buddy about how there's no use for a 9mm. Like we were talking about it. And then the Ford that I was working on the other day had 9mm on the interior door handle inside the back doors. And I was like, what the fuck? What are the odds of that? And now, if I'm not wrong, they've presented themselves again in the form of a Kia door handle. If this is a 9 right here, I'm going to shit. No, they are not a 9. They are a 10. Just my half-inch socket wouldn't fit in there. Okay, okay. I was going to say that would be super odd. I also think that my 10s are both in the F-150 outside. Because them and the 13 are missing. And I had them in there the other day. I'd say I left them in there on accident. But we'll go grab it real quick. With the birds share this lonely view. Well, there is my deep well 10 millimeter. Awesome. So we're pulling our grab handle here on the driver's side. This would have been a whole lot easier with power tool, but whatever. I could have grabbed like 2 other power tools really easily. I just like to do things the difficult way. Problem is you have to hold down on that handle and it puts pressure on it, so without having a tool to spin it, it's not wanting to do much. But I've got a weak 1/2-inch Temu impact that I use as my 3/8, and it'll more than handle these just fine. Yeah, there we go. Grab handle removed. And like I said, that right there allows us to get to here. And then, I guess I don't know how this. It looks like this outer trim comes off. And it's 2 Phillips that hold it on. Sweet. Yeah. Okay. Pull these 2 here. All right, there's our sun visor down. Let's grab our pick, and the sun visor catch needs to come. Well, I don't know how to pull that down. Oh, need a new clip for that. Awesome. Picking on the boy. Here's the lion. Okay. Okay, that gets us there. Okay, now I need to untangle this mess of wire here. All right. So this would be a whole lot easier to pass something through stiff, like a wire coat hanger or something of the sort. Just to pass through and then pull the wire back, because I don't need to get my arm all the way up in there. I know I've got something. Ooh, perfect. Just a piece of 1/4 inch brake line, but it's got the fitting on the end of it, so I can push it through the hole, tape the end of the RCAs to it, and then pull it back through. Hopefully, that's the goal here. Well, now I've got it jammed in there. Look at that. Yep, there's the end of it right there. Okay. I'll just take a little wrap of black tape around the RCA cable ends. And also wrap that around this brake line with a flare on the end of it so they don't come off. And then shove it back. Well, hopefully shove it back. There it is. We got our end. Pull it out of the headliner. And there goes our RCA cables up in the headliner. And there they are. Already got the A-pillar popped loose. So now I've got RCAs right up here where they need to be at where we're mounting the screen. This end we will pull down, tuck up above that corner. Alrighty. Alrighty. Pulled off the access cover here on the side of the dash. And pass our RCAs through. Down into the dash to pass over to the radio. Alright, if we could just get these guys to go where we're wanting them to, not where they want to. We'll tuck all our excess wire in behind the radio because there's a big cavity behind it. I'm not worried about it. Let's zip tie all this up out of our way. Let's snap this cover back on. Snap our fuse cover back on. Put our door seal back in place. There we go. And then, like I said, just got to run our RCAs up under the dash here above our pedals and up into the radio cavity. But luckily, all this stuff is, there's actually a lot of room back here for compared to most vehicles these days. Like these dash panels, like there's so much packed behind them, you can't get to anything. Now this one's not terrible. Trying to get eyes on what I'm looking for here. The path I'm trying to take. There we go. And that's how you do it. Right there. Yes, sir, ma'ams, and whoever else is listening. Now, I grab my little video out. We're going to hook it up to the white on this RCA because these are for audio, technically, but All right, now I need to adapt my power up there. I also need to test with my test light to make sure I've got power and ground up there. I'd like to find a little 2-pin pigtail to use to just adapt those straight in, but all right, constant power right there with the red and the black. So that's what we're looking for. Good. Okay, so I need my side cutters, my strippers. Like I said, I would really like to have some sort of adapter and not hardwire this in, but not a big deal. It's got a fuse in line of it, so let's take 2 of these solder heat shrink connectors. Where is my little torch? Okay. Cool news is there's plenty of extra harness, and I can also tuck that up above the headliner there. So oh, come on. I just want this tape off there. I do such a shitty job taping it anyway, but I don't want... There we go. Okay. There is the power. About to splice in the ground. technically, yeah, look at that. I've got power on the lights and the screen. It says no signal right now. Let's see what happens when I plug this in and turn on the key. Oh. Gotta check my settings here. I don't know. Welcome to the best Kentucky streamer you will ever find's channel. _photography. Yo, what's going on? How are we doing today? Thank you. That's a customer's 1964 Chrysler Newport. I'm trying to get a screen working here. AVN, no. How about display? No. I don't know how to do this, guys. I'm not getting anything on my... Now, it could be an RCA issue, too. I didn't even think about that. I probably should have left the radio out and tried a different RCA cord. Let's see here. I am taking this vehicle to Indiana, taking my kids, and we're putting a drop-down screen for the back seat in. Trying to connect it to this Android tablet radio that I've got, and it's just not wanting to work right this second, but I'm reading through the instructions that are in a PDF on this Android tablet radio to see if I can figure out why we're not getting our auxiliary screen, our video out. It's all pretty shitty, you know. Yeah, there's nothing on here about how to turn on the rear screen. That's crazy. That's AV in. I need AV out. I'm not exactly sure where that setting is on this thing. I'm going to have to do some Googling. Let me try going into Z-Link. I'm also going to go ahead and mount this screen because there's no reason not to at this point. I've got everything else hooked up, so... This is a pretty easy install, actually. Hardest part was running the RCA wires. I just dropped a screw. Awesome. All right. Lord help me find this screw that I dropped. Shit. Oh, hey, I found it. Holy crap. Nice. Sweet. I'll tell you one thing, this bracket fits tight, so that's good. Now I got to go in here in the garage and grab my screws to mount this screen to its bracket. Because I left them in here. But hey, Kalu Photography, I appreciate you dropping in and chatting there. Oh, goodness. Oh, I'm on the wrong camera this entire time, guys. Sorry. I thought you guys could at least see me bebopping around in this car. That was my bad. You can kind of see what I'm doing. I can't get my camera any farther. I've only got 18 foot of USB extension to get it out here. And with the Chrysler in there, I can't get into the garage with it. But okay. Now I've got to tuck my wiring harness off to the side here. I'm also gonna have to loosen this screw and get most of it in there because there's a piece of foam that blocks me from getting it over there where I'm wanting it with that screw all the way tight. Oh wow, it actually mounts pretty nice. Cool. Okay, so we're gonna tighten this side back up. Okay. Dang, this thing's pretty big when it's sitting up in here. Okay, there we go. There's that one. Okay. So I'm realizing now I'm definitely going to have a struggle with these front brackets because they sit too far off the bracket to actually grab it. Oh, there we go. There we go. Heck yeah. Okay, one more to go, guys. And then our 10-inch drop-down screen install is done. I just got to figure out my settings to get my rear video output working like it's supposed to. Okay. I might grab a drill, something I can press on and turn at the same time. Although I think I ran into this the other day. I don't think I've got a Phillips bit that's worth a damn. If I remember correctly. All right, let's see if we can get some pressure on it with the drill and get that one to start. Because these are really, really short screws. Well, yeah, it went in and it busted through the plastic. Okay, so now I've got to go find a little bit longer bolt with a washer to put on there. And God, that was a little tiny machine screw. But like I said earlier, this is why old dad keeps everything. I got bolt bends for days. Got machine screws and but everything you can imagine laying around. No, it's my wood ones. They're probably over here in the barn. Although I do have a bolt bin right here I could check. I just doubt I'll have anything that small in this one. Well, it's okay. We'll go here. I'm going to run to the barn real quick and check my bolts over there, guys. I'm sure I got something. Oh, Lordy. That's funny. I walked in and immediately found exactly what I'm looking for. That's great. Walked in and immediately found what I needed. That was awesome. And it's Torx, so it's not a fucking Phillips. I don't deal with that stupid shit. There we go. Now, just grab a little washery do here. And it'll grab that whole thing and screw it in, and we'll be just fine. Because this will be tucked up above the monitor anyway, so. Well, maybe not both washers. There we go. And now I can flip that up out of the way and it clips in. We've got rear dome lights still mounted on this thing. Not hitting me in the head when I'm driving. Matter of fact, it sits right about where my headrest sits. So, yeah, they're right next to each other. So, doesn't hit me in the head. It does block my rear view, but I drove truck for a long time. I don't use rear view a lot. I use some side mirrors. So, now if we can figure out these settings and get this working, it'd be awesome. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure this out. But no big deal. We're getting towards the end of this stream anyway. The cool thing is this thing turns all the way around. So I can turn that screen wherever I want it in the car, front or rear, either side. That's pretty neat. Let me check my AV1 again. Okay. I might have to pull this back off the stereo, pop it back out, and make sure I'm hooked to the right RCA. I'd be as simple as that. I really don't know. Let me see if that does anything. No. Call you that. Let me see if there's anything in here. Say I'm pretty fly for a white guy. Yeah, it doesn't give me any options to like turn a rear display on, so it should be working. I'm not really not sure. The monitor works. In worst case, we'll do something. We'll go get an HDMI adapter and put the kid's Xbox on it and run a little inverter in here. I really don't care. But I bet I got the only Kia Soul with a flip down rear screen. Like I said, screw around. I've got some headrest monitors. I'll pull these headrests out and convert it over. We'll have screens everywhere in this thing, man. But it's pretty cool. It's a slick install. I mean, it's black and my headliner's gray, but you still got a switch up here where I can turn on rear lights to be able to see in the back, so we don't lose our dome light. And it folds up out of the way, so I can easily, not have it in my way. And it mounts flush. It's not bouncy. It's not loose. It's up there. That's pretty wicked. I'm happy with it for sure. Like I said, I'll have to go check on the back of this radio and see what's going on with all that. But I guess I can go ahead and put my visor back in, and I bet my goofy butt took my Phillips in here and left it in here. I did. I can put the grab handle back on too, and yeah. And actually, it's 2 o'clock. It's almost time. Almost time to end the stream. Okay. You guys are probably tired of that dinging. I didn't hear it that bad because I had my headset on. Sorry about that. Now, all I'm missing, for some reason. Oh, they're not missing. They're connected to it, Goober. My little bolt head covers just swing up, and there we go. Tucking the mic wire back in up here. Sorry, I'm trying to tuck this wire up behind the dash, and it's fighting me right here on this end. There we go. Yeah, the stereo's got like a little mic. Got my phone up there, or phone holder. I'm gonna get these tools at, really? There we go. Got the pictures of my kids right here above the radio. Like I said, I'm gonna get the tools out of here, and then the plan is just to clean it all out, get all my junk, the kids' junk out of here. We're gonna get the car packed up and ready, and got me some fresh Black Ice air fresheners so it smell good. Other than that, our road trip checklist is complete, I guess you'd say. And we're other than being packed, we're good to go. Which that's what the kids are doing. They're on winter break already, so they're spending the day getting their bag packed. But we're only going up there and staying a night, so it's not like they got a big bag to pack. And I told them we don't want to bring a bunch of stuff with us because they're going up there for Christmas. So if they're getting Christmas stuff, don't want them packing the little Kia down and having no room in it. So, but yeah, here we are, 2:00 Monday, right before Christmas, before Christmas Eve, and like I said, I'm going to be out of town. I'll probably I'll be back at like midnight Christmas morning. So we're going to get home, sleep, wake up in the morning, probably go do Christmas down at my ex-wife's so that she can see all the kids, and then I'll leave the baby with her and take Island to her mom, and then try to hunt my sister down and see her. So heck yeah. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful Christmas, whatever your plans are, whatever you're doing, hanging out with family, friends, by yourself. Some of y'all going to be working. I understand it happens to the best of us, unfortunately. But there we go. I appreciate all y'all on all my socials, on everything I stream on. Facebook, Twitch, Kick, YouTube. I love all the support. Thank you all for helping me grow all these channels and do this. Today was just kind of a fuck around day, but you know, it is what it is. We got more work to do on this after Christmas. Who? All right, I got.